pretty much all the CEOs of the leading AI companies think that there's a significant risk of extinction. Almost all the leading AI researchers think there's a significant risk of human extinction. So why is that the fringe, right? Why isn't that the mainstream? If these are the leading experts in industry and academia saying this, how could it be the fringe? So we're trying to change that narrative to say, no, the people who really understand this stuff are extremely concerned.
And what do you want to happen? What is the solution?
What I think is that we should have effective regulation. It's hard to argue with that, right? So what does effective mean? It means that if you comply with the regulation, then the risks are reduced to an acceptable level. So, for example, we ask people who want to operate nuclear plants, right? We've decided that the risk we're willing to live with is, a 1 in a million chance per year that the plant is going to have a meltdown. Any higher than that, we just don't, it's not worth it, right? So you have to be below that. Some cases we can get down to 1 in 10 million chance per year. So what chance do you think we should be willing to live with for human extinction?
Me?
Yeah.
0.0001.
Yeah, lots of zeros.
Yeah.
Right? So 1 in a million for a nuclear meltdown, extinction's much worse.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it's going to
Right?
be
So
1 in 100 billion, 1 in a trillion.
Yeah. So if you said 1 in a billion, right, then you'd expect one extinction per billion years. There's a background. So one of the ways people work out these risk levels is also to look at the background. The other ways of going extinct would include, giant asteroid crashes into the Earth. And you can roughly calculate what those probabilities are. We can look at how many extinction level events have happened in the past, and maybe it's half a dozen over. So there's maybe it's like a 1 in 500 million year event. So somewhere in that range, right? Somewhere between 1 in 10 million, which is the best nuclear power plants, and 1 in 500 million or 1 in a billion, which is the background risk from giant asteroids. So let's say we settle on 100 million. 1 in 100 million chance per year. Well, what is it according to the CEOs? 25%. So they're off by a factor of multiple millions, right? So they need to make the AI systems millions of times safer.
Your analogy of the Russian roulette comes back in here, because that's like, for anyone that doesn't know what probabilities are in this context, that's like having a ammunition chamber with 4 holes in it and putting a bullet in one of them.
1 in 4, yeah. So
and we're saying we want it to be 1 in a billion. So we want a billion chambers and a bullet in one of them.
Yeah, and so when you look at the work that the nuclear operators have to do to show that their system is that reliable, it's a massive mathematical analysis of the components, the redundancy. You've got monitors, you've got warning lights, you've got operating procedures. You have all kinds of mechanisms which over the decades have ratcheted that risk down. It started out, I think, 1 in 10,000 years, right? And they've improved it by a factor of 100 or 1,000 by all of these mechanisms. But at every stage, they had to do a mathematical analysis to show what the risk was. The people developing the AI company, the AI systems, the AI companies developing these systems, they don't even understand how the AI systems work. So their 25% chance of extinction is just a seat of the pants guess. They actually have no idea.